Is he breathing? Barely. Christ. Look at this. Somebody carved him open like meat on a cutting board. The headlamp beam swept across the man's chest. His skin was dark with grime, blood, and something else. Sticky. Unnatural. A torn piece of t-shirt clung to his torso. The incision was clean but crude, stitched with thick blue thread. Fresh. Nearby. An empty syringe, a bottle of off-brand rubbing alcohol, a snapped razor blade. Are you kidding me? That's a surgical line. Right under the ribs. Kidney, maybe. Jesus. The paramedic pressed 2 fingers to the man's neck. Pulse, faint and erratic. The man wheezed. His chest rose in fits and starts. Sir? Can you hear me? Sir? Say something. The eyes flickered open. Clouded. Pupils blown. Lips trembling. A rasp of breath. I signed it. What did you sign? Who did this to you? Where were you? Money. For him. Don't tell him. Stay with me. The second paramedic barked. Viens. We're losing him. The ambulance jolted into motion, red light strobing, siren wailing, hands on his chest, belt straps cutting into worn clothes. The man's eyes fluttered open again, turned toward the window. Just foggy city lights. He whispered, Tommy. We don't have anyone by that name, the nurse said flatly, scrolling the screen. Are you sure he came here? I brought him in. Myself, the paramedic snapped. Last night. Knife wound, surgical scar. We gave him a temp ID. There's no ID, no file, no ER record, no intake. He's not here. People don't just disappear, not with that kind of trauma. At this hospital? They do. If they don't have insurance, family, a name, they vanish. He gave us a name. Leon Mason, Iraq vet. I heard it. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. Describe the scar, Jen Harper said. Recorder already running. Straight cut, under the ribs, stitched like a rookie did it. Thick thread, uneven pressure, looked military. He kept saying it was for his son. Money for him. Don't tell. That kind of thing. He said his name. Leon Mason. And the son, Tommy. We checked VA records. There's a Leon Mason. Marine. Lived in D.C. Then, nothing. Vanished from the hospital. No documentation. No cameras. No staff who remember him. But he was there. He was, I swear. Under the overpass, it stank of mold, piss, and gasoline. Cold wind swept through garbage piles. Jen lit the scene with her phone. Dried blood on the concrete. Gauze wrappers. The bent remains of a cigarette pack. This is where they found him? Yeah, said the shelter volunteer. Around midnight, one of ours called it in. We thought he was dead, but he made it, sort of. Had he been here before? Lots. Slept by the wall. Quiet guy. Helped in the kitchen sometimes. Never asked for money. Always talked about his boy. Said he had to fix things, get it right for him. When did he start acting strange? Few months. Back. He'd vanish for days, come back woozy. Bandaged. Chest. Arms. Said it was medical trials. Did he name a hospital? No. Just said, one more round, then everything's okay. Jen stared at the bloodstain. It had congealed into a cracked, rust-colored map. I'm going to find him, she said. Or the bastards who used him. The volunteer just looked away. Clinical trial program? Jen flipped through the file. You're sure? Positive, said the young outreach worker. Unofficial studies. They target homeless vets. Offer quick cash for testing. Blood work, cognitive response. Sometimes minor surgeries. It's not VA run, but they know. Legal? On paper. As long as the subject signs off, they're covered. Never mind that most of these guys are high, sick, or desperate. Could Leon have agreed? If he thought it'd help his son, no question. Jen scanned one consent form. Scrawled signature at the bottom. Slanted, shaky, maybe drugged, maybe terrified. Where do I start? Try South Fulton Clinic. They come up a lot. Thank you. Careful. This story gets people hurt. Or disappeared. Night. Jen sat in her car, laptop on the passenger seat. In her hand, a photo. Leon in uniform. Younger, smiling. A toddler on his shoulders, Tommy. On the back, a note. Before Baghdad. 2006, she typed, South Fulton Clinic, Baltimore. Hit enter. First link, closed in 2021. Second, investigation into unlicensed procedures. Third, message board thread. My dad went there. After tests, he couldn't walk, dead in a month. VA did. Nothing. Courts threw it out. All legal, on paper. Jen stared at the screen. Her jaw clenched. She started writing. New document. Title, Case 119. How the System Sells Its Broken Soldiers. Unknown number. She picked up. You looking into South Fulton? The voice was gravel and rust. Who is this? You don't want to be asking questions there. I'm a journalist. You threatening? Me? I'm saving your life. Last girl who asked questions bled out behind a Dollar Tree. Click. She stared at the phone, then at the photo. I'm not backing off. Her hands shook, but she opened the car door. The door to the South Fulton Clinic screeched open like it hadn't been touched in years. Jen stepped inside. The air smelled like bleach over rot. Paint peeled from the walls. A single flickering light above reception cast a trembling shadow on the floor. Dust blanketed every surface. A sign behind the counter read, in faded letters, Restoring Hope Through Science. She pulled her phone and hit record. Harper. South Fulton Clinic, abandoned since 2021. Possible site of illegal medical trials targeting homeless veterans. A door creaked inside. She froze. Footsteps. Then a voice. You shouldn't be here. A man stepped out of the shadows. Late 40s. Denim. Jacket. Hands in pockets. Clinic's closed. So I've heard, Jen said. You used to work here? He didn't answer. I'm looking for someone. Leon Mason. He was brought here. A vet. Silence. Then, lot of vets came through. Lot didn't leave. Jen took a step forward. What did they do to them? The man sighed, looking past her like he saw ghosts. Took what they needed, promised contributions to science, gave him $200 and some juice boxes. That's it? And Mason? He shook his head. He came back too many times. Needed money. Said it was for his kid. They like that. They like people who won't say no. Jen narrowed her eyes. Where is he now? The man swallowed. Gone. Dead. Maybe worse. A crash behind them. Jen spun. Two men, one with a bat, the other. With a taser came from the hallway. You brought her here, the one with the bat growled. You stupid! Run, the man in the jacket said. Jen didn't hesitate. She bolted back through the front door, heart in her throat. A hand grabbed her hair, yanked her down. She hit the pavement hard. The taser buzzed, missed. She kicked out, boot, smashing into someone's shin. He yelped. The jacketed man tackled one of them, fists flying. Jen scrambled up, sprinted to her car. Keys. Where were the keys? Her purse. Her jacket. She dove inside, locked the door, hit ignition. The engine coughed. Once. Twice. Started. A face slammed against her window. You're dead, bitch, he screamed. She hit the gas. Tires screamed. She didn't stop until she was 6 blocks away. She sat in a gas station bathroom, shaking, blood on her palm, bruise forming on her cheek. She looked at herself in the mirror. The fear, the fury. She whispered, You're not backing down. Her phone buzzed. Blocked number. She answered. You're making a mistake, said a voice, calm, cold. There's no story. Here. Just a dead man who sold himself. Who are you? Someone who buried what's left of Mason. Let him stay buried. Click. She dropped the phone. Her hands were still shaking, but her voice wasn't. She looked into the mirror one last time and said, "Not this time." She walked out, into the dark, toward the next name on her list, and the man who ran the trials. The warehouse was buried at the edge of the port, wrapped in chain link and rust, forgotten by the city like everything else Jen was chasing. She crouched, behind a shipping crate, breath fogging in the cold, eyes fixed on the only lit window. The name she'd traced here, Dr. Randall Meyer, former surgeon. Suspended license, brief contract with South Fulton, terminated in 2020. Last known activity, a side business registered under a shell company, Urban Therapeutics. Same address. She waited. The light inside flickered. A shadow moved. Then, shouting. Man's voice angry. "You said he was stable. You said—" Crash. Glass. Jen crept closer, pulled out her phone, started recording. She slid around the corner, up a small ramp, and peered through a crack in the door. He turned to her. What do you mean? It looked directly into the camera. It knew. Ed felt a chill crawl up his spine. They didn't just copy you, she said. They let it wake up. And in the dark of the server room, the last image froze on the screen, his double, eyes open, smiling. The facility was no longer just a nursing home. It was a battlefield. Joe was wheeled into a hidden maintenance room behind the cafeteria, wrapped in stolen linens and doped with painkillers. Ramirez applied pressure to the bullet wound. You're going to be okay, she muttered. I've had worse, Joe slurred. Grenade took most of my hearing. This is just a love tap. Shut up, Ed said. We need you alive. You're our witness. Ramirez turned to Ed. We can't stay here. They'll sweep the building. We need to vanish until nightfall. Not vanish, Ed said. We need leverage, she frowned. You're not thinking, I want to find the source. Whoever's behind this isn't in the building. They're watching, and they left fingerprints. That night, Ed infiltrated the record server. The terminal was in a disused nurse station, hidden behind a false cabinet. Ramirez provided the password. Joe manned the hall with a fire axe. Lines of encrypted files flickered by. Project Grey Warden, Patient Subject VNR5, Trauma Maps, Memory Injection Protocols, Behavioral Control Modules, and at the bottom, an address, Fort Minebrook, South Compound. What is that? Ed asked. Ramirez stared. It's not on any public records. It's an off-books VA research center. I thought it was shut down in 2008. Ed leaned in. Looks like someone rebooted the system. A new file loaded. Live feed. South Compound. Lab 3, a camera clicked on. A room, white-tiled. Empty chair. Electrodes. A voice from a speaker. Ready the next clone. Subject line. Echo Phi. A stretcher rolled in, and Ed's knees buckled. On the screen lay a man. Same face, same scars, same eyes. Himself. Joe looked over Ed's shoulder. What the fuck? Ramirez whispered. It's not a clone. They reconstituted. Your file, Ed. Biometrics. Blood. You were the test case. The prototype. Ed was silent for a long time. They copied my trauma. They made copies of your fear. A red alert flashed. Remote access detected. Security locked down in 30 seconds. We're done, Ramirez said. Not yet. Ed inserted a flash drive. I'm taking this. We're bringing them down. Then we get out. Tonight. Through the old ambulance tunnel. As they packed their gear, Ramirez stopped him. Ed, that thing on the screen? It wasn't asleep. He turned to her. What do you mean? It looked directly into the camera. It knew. Ed felt a chill crawl up his spine. They didn't. Just copy you, she said. They let it wake up. And in the dark of the server room, the last image froze on the screen. His double. Eyes open, smiling.